There are many benefits of intermittent fasting. Unfortunately, it's not for everyone. Here are the 7 different types of people who shouldn't do intermittent fasting. What's going on, guys? Carlo Macapinlac here from newbiefitnessacademy.com. I help busy professionals lose weight so they can feel more confident and get the most out of their lives. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button to get notified every time I post a new video every week, and make sure you follow me on Instagram where I post daily awesome fitness content just like this. Okay, there are many benefits of intermittent fasting, and that includes improved mental clarity and concentration. It lowers blood sugar levels and it improves insulin sensitivity. And if you've been watching my videos, you know how important that is when it comes to controlling your weight. It increases energy, it lowers blood cholesterol, it decreases inflammation, and it even reverses the aging process. But most importantly, you lose weight, a lot of weight. Unfortunately, it's not for everyone. Here are the 7 different types of people who shouldn't do intermittent fasting. Number 1, you shouldn't do intermittent fasting if you're pregnant. Listen, there's a human being growing inside of you, which means that whatever you eat, your baby also eats. Which means that if you don't eat anything, if you do intermittent fasting, then your baby also doesn't eat anything. That is not a good thing for a developing fetus. Your developing fetus requires adequate nutrients for optimal growth, and any deficiency may cause irreversible damage, right? Again, there is a growing fetus inside of you, so you should not even be thinking about dieting at this point. What you should be focusing on is properly nourishing yourself during your pregnancy. And it's not like it's permanent, like you're only pregnant for 9 months. Once your baby's born, then you can start getting back into your intermittent fasting routine. Unless, number 2, you shouldn't fast if you're breastfeeding. And this is just a little bit of continuation from number 1. You shouldn't do intermittent fasting. Again, your baby receives all the nutrients from you through your breast milk. If you start doing fasting and you don't get the proper nutrients and minerals inside you, guess what? Your baby won't receive it either. Again, you're risking irreversible damage here if you fast while you're breastfeeding. It's just not worth it. It's okay to miss a meal here and there, but let's say you shouldn't do like a 48-hour fast or a 7-day fast when you're breastfeeding. And again, breastfeeding is only temporary, right? You're only doing it for, I don't know, a few months. And I know you want to get rid of your pregnancy weight, but just wait until you're done breastfeeding. And then after that, you can start fasting again. Number 3, you shouldn't fast if you're underweight. Now, to piggyback off of your body requiring adequate nutrients and minerals, if you're malnourished or you're underweight, then you shouldn't fast. And this is kind of on the extreme side of things, but it's worth mentioning anyway. Anybody under 4% body fat should not even attempt fasting. There's absolutely no point. At this point, you're barely carrying any body fat. If you're malnourished or you're underweight and you start fasting, that is when your body is forced to use protein for energy. That is literally the point when you start withering away. It's the only time where your body is forced to use your own muscles for energy. So you shouldn't do it. Fortunately, we have the complete opposite of that problem, especially in North America, where we have a full-blown obesity epidemic. The average body fat percentage for men is 25% and 35% for women. So we have plenty of body fat to burn for energy. Like personally, even at my leanest, I was still carrying some excess body fat. Like the average person carries about 100,000 calories worth of body fat for energy. Again, if you're not malnourished or underweight, you should be perfectly fine to fast. Number 4, you shouldn't fast if you're a teenager. And this falls within the same reasons as pregnancy and breastfeeding, is that adequate nutrition is required for proper growth. And this is especially true for kids going through a growth spurt. You should not even be thinking about fasting at this point. Again, missing a meal here and there isn't a bad thing. Let's say you sleep in on weekends and you miss breakfast. That's totally fine. If you're a teenager who's watching this, or if you're a parent with a teenager, I know how important body image is to someone at that age. I think it's more important to teach your kids on how to make proper food choices instead of thinking about fasting to lose weight. And honestly, it's as simple as not drinking liquid calories, making sure you're sticking to whole foods, and avoiding any processed carbs or added sugar. Number 5, you shouldn't fast if you have an eating disorder. Listen, if you're suffering from an eating disorder, then you should not fast. And the reason is pretty simple. Food is the medicine for anorexia. Now, fasting isn't completely off the table for these next 2 types of people, but you should definitely consult your doctor first. Number 6, If you're taking any sort of medication, then you should definitely consult your doctor first. Listen, for the most part, you can still do intermittent fasting if you're taking any medication that needs to be taken with food, especially if you're only doing a short-term fast, like a 16, 20, or 24-hour fast, because you're technically not going a full day without food. Now, this gets more serious if you're taking blood sugar medication. You need to consult with a medical professional if you have diabetes and you want to do intermittent fasting. This is serious stuff, and the reason is pretty simple. As stated earlier, one of the benefits of intermittent fasting is it lowers your blood sugar levels. If you take blood sugar lowering medication like metformin, for example, then you're risking your body going into a state called hypoglycemia, where your blood sugar gets too low. And that condition can be life-threatening. Symptoms include shaking, sweating, feeling faint, hunger, and nausea. If you start feeling that way, you need to ingest some sugar right away to reverse this life-threatening situation. Listen, combining intermittent fasting with a low-carb diet is probably one of the best ways to reverse type 2 diabetes, but again, you need to work with a professional here. Don't attempt to do this yourself. You also need to be checking your blood sugar levels at least twice a day. At the end of the day, fasting is generally safe for most people other than the 7 that I just mentioned. Just make sure you do your own research to make sure that it's perfectly safe for you. Okay, the next question then becomes, how are you actually supposed to eat if you want to lose weight? Because let's be honest, 80% of your body composition is determined by your diet. You can't just freestyle this part. Do you have a proven plan that you can follow? To help you with that, I want to give you a free copy of my Lean Body Blueprint. This is how I melted all the fat around my stomach and turned it into a six-pack without going on a crazy diet or wasting hours at the gym. It's a simple 4-step process specifically designed for busy professionals just like you, and it's the exact same blueprint that I teach all my private coaching clients, and they've all gone to see some amazing results. If you want to be the next success story, then download your free copy of the Lean Body Blueprint right now. There's going to be a link in the description box. Just click on it, type in your email, and I'll send it to you right away. All right, that's all I've got. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and share it with your friends. Follow me on Instagram, my handle's at the top, and subscribe to my channel. I post a new video every Friday. And hey, leave me a comment if you have any questions about this video. All right, thanks for watching. Borcho High Five.